What does your day-to-day operations in New England look like with prep baseball?
So right now, like I've mentioned before, but we are trying to hit as many high school games as we can. So I try to front load it for the week. We have a staff of 6 guys right now, including myself, that goes out and sees as many high school games, again, to see players that we've already known about or we need to know about. Um, and then along with planning our summer event schedule, making sure invitations are going out, and we're really getting ready, getting interns ready to go, getting our part-time staff ready to go, because in the next 6 weeks or so, we're going to be full go once high school ends and our summer season kicks off. So the first thing would be like their preparation. So that can include a lot of things, but I think if when you show up to the park, if it's during catch play, like how their catch play looks, if it's a pitcher getting ready for the game, their long toss, how that looks, how their like bullpen looks before the game for a position player, their defensive reps before the game, how they interact with their teammates would be like, I mean, preparation's a big thing to cover, but that's one thing I would look at. Second thing would be like their appearance, whether that's uniform in the way that they look, or if they're flashy with wristbands and arm sleeves and stuff. Not saying there's anything against that, but just a thing that catches the eye of a scout or a college recruiter. And the way that they carry themselves is another thing of appearance. If they're interacting with their teammates, or are they kind of off to the side, or are they segregated from everybody else? And then the last thing would be their game play, really, and how do they handle the high of hitting a double in the gap as a hitter and going 3 for 3, or if there's going to be games you see that they go 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Like, how can they handle the high of the high or the low of the low? And like, how can that translate to me maybe using a connection to speak with a college coach or somebody else and think of them as a player moving forward?
Catch play, I think that has been synonymous across the people we interview, because catch play has said a lot. It tells a lot of stories, and I didn't think I realized it a lot when I was playing, but now that I'm on the outside of things, I notice so much from catch play. It's like you can tell if a kid's lazy, if you know what a kid's going to do in the game, if he's going to attack the ball or just let the ball hit him in the chest because he's lazy. And there's so many different things that catch play can tell you, and I truly didn't realize it until I became a coach or a person on the outside, because people don't think it matters when they're in the heat of the moment, but it tells a lot about how you're going to progress as a baseball player.
What's something parents think matters that scouts actually don't care about?
I think this may sound bad, but in-game performance, there's like, it's good to see obviously a player play well, and you have to be able to perform in game. But a lot of, at least scouting for me, is like watching the way like a player moves. Like, if they can really swing the bat, you can see the way they swing the bat, even if they swing and miss, or if they make errors positionally, like the way that they move and get around the ball, or their pre-hop and all that stuff, to really figure out like what type of player they are. Or pitcher, same way. Like, some days you're going to get hit or your command's going to be off, but the way that your body really moves is like the identifier, for me at least, to be able to see, rather than just in-game performance. But like, that's like a thing that doesn't have to always be at the highest level.
I think there, like, the big message for parents is like, you guys are scouting. You're not there to recruit the kid, right? So I think that's the big difference that parents need to understand is like, and again, one of my favorite things is, and I know Pee-wee will say the same thing, but like, you guys rank kids at what, 14, starting at 14, if I'm correct?
Yeah, class of 2020. So freshman year, freshman to senior
Freshman year. So
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
ranking them at 14 years old, whereas every other thing is ranking kids at 8, 9, 10 years old. So with that being said, you're ranking them on what you see, not saying in-game results and all these different things, but then you move on to a college coach recruiting them, and that's where the gameplay comes in. You're putting them on the map. College recruiting is taking your advice and then putting essentially their touch in of, how do I recruit this kid if this is somebody that fits my gameplay mold that I'm looking for? So with that, I mean, I think that is like the big benefit you guys have, but it's like parents need to understand that the scouting part is what you do, not, hey, I'm going to help this kid get into Southern Connecticut. Yes, that's an added bonus because of who you know and who you've connected with through your baseball career. But most people are like, oh, if I get my numbers to 95 on here, I'm going to go to LSU. You might not go to LSU, but you might end up at Texas, or you might end up at Northeastern, or you might end up at Central Connecticut, right?